Tonight, Space Cadets, we try Ultionus, a short indie action platformer by Andrew Beto, who's also behind the recently funded Legend of OUYA Kickstarter, and God, I hope I just pronounced those things I said correctly. Anyway, this game just got a DRM-free release, as well as it's trying to hit up Steam Greenlight. It's also free for anyone who supported Legend of OUYA, which is where I came in. So, let's break things down. After doing a regular routine of saving the galaxy, our hero, Serena S., gets trolled on the futuristic social networking site Spacebook. And then she's promptly shot down by the misogynistic and narcissistic Space Prince. Serena must now navigate the planet she crash-landed on in order to exact her somewhat petty, somewhat justified revenge. Through 5 regular stages, as well as a secret final stage, this game immediately evokes a retro platformer vibe, from the pixelated visuals down to a very MIDI-like soundtrack composed by veteran music man Jake Kaufman. The tunes that'll be pumping out of your speakers aren't terribly memorable, but they do their job. The game also has one hell of a bumping theme song by another talented artist, a rival. I think the underscore is silent. Besides moving, you got 2 very basic functions, jumping and shooting. The routes through each area travel in all directions, but follow a very linear progression, like Mega Man or Castlevania. Almost every stage has a hidden shop that requires an equally hidden token to access. The strange and furry storekeeper holds on to items from 2 upgrade trees that either boost your defense or offense. And that's if you have enough money. It's interesting to note that I had to grind for about 30 seconds in the first stage in order to have enough to buy the first upgrade I wanted. Beyond this and the secrets though, the game is as basic as they come. And when left to its core functions, it becomes apparent that the game's intentionally dated mechanics have disappeared from modern games for a reason. Jumping is very stiff, but like Castlevania, you have to commit to every leap. Enemies move with deliberate patterns and transfixed directions, so you don't have to deal with any complex AI. But the game also carries the old annoyance of enemies spawning off screen rapidly, leading to a number of those annoying situations where you're stuck in one spot trying to move forward slowly. Hell, some enemies even despawn if you move the camera fast enough. It's these type of controls that are a turnoff for me, but for all I know, some nostalgia gamers are frothing at the mouth for a quasi-fresh experience like this. Except for a multi-shot in one of the skill trees, none of the upgrades make a stark difference to the ease of the game. Even this rapid-fire upgrade you get degenerates quickly over time. Also, if you get it as early as you can, you'll learn on the following stage that it's actually more effective to rapidly press the button than hold it down, thus defeating its purpose. And seeing that any enemy that isn't a boss dies in 1 or 2 shots, the damage boost won't matter for about half the game. On to discussion of the bosses themselves, they mix up the gameplay a bit and are pretty good at looking like something out of Mode 7. Your gigantic adversaries do offer a bit of classic challenge, which is a plus, but after seeing through a very predictable order of attacks, you'll be more sleepy than satisfied through these short skirmishes, assuming you don't blast through them after a first or second round. Overall, Ultionus is a quick experience that ends as soon as it starts. You'll run through it in an hour or less, give or take some lives lost. The game has 3 difficulty levels to choose from, so whether you're DSP or a speedrunner, there's going to be a sweet spot for you in there somewhere. And finally, to address an issue that might come up with some people, I'm going slightly into spoiler territory, but let me just say, if you take the roads less traveled in the game, Ultionus does some things that wouldn't have any narrative resonance if it was created before this year. Take that statement as you will. But as a whole, Ultionus leaves a little to be desired. At $10 is not a bad game by any means, but it's not exactly memorable either, besides a neat hidden message. It's mostly competent and fairly nice looking, with not too much to write home about unless you're jonesing for a game built with a 90s mindset. Sure, there's nothing wrong with making a game aimed at the nostalgia of the floppy days, but at the same time I'm expecting just a little bit something more polished. Thankfully though, I and many others got to experience this for free, so I can't be all sour grapes about it. I wouldn't mind seeing space hero Serena S in another adventure in the future, but as it is, nostalgia goggles can't make me overlook the ho-hum gameplay and entertainment. For that reason, Ultionus gets a 3 out of 5.